Hey everyone, it's Jim T. Graham with RCGroups, and you're live on RCGroups. You almost got a candid conversation from Matt Gunn, who did not realize the button had been pushed. Who knows what he might have said? I don't even know.
I don't even know what I was going to say.
Good.
Welcome to the show, everybody.
Stop talking. I mean, there's so many topics we discuss. I have a topic. I'm going to start right now with the topic, and it's USPS insured shipping. We all buy and sell, and I've used FedEx, UPS, and the USPS. Every time I go to UPS, they say, oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Stop. How y'all doing? How you doing, Jason Cole?
I'm doing well, man. I am cooking up our live feed. Oh, that's going to be bad. Let me mute this. There we go.
Cooking it up. What does that mean?
Well,
he's cooking it up.
See what a viewer would see, and then hopefully we can respond and reply to comments and things like that. So,
what are you up to these days?
You know, my stepdad would say, "Oh, about 6'3".
Truman says like, up is the direction.
Yeah, I guess I'm up to a whole bunch of. I'm up to no good. I've been building my awesome oh my gosh, Legacy Aviation Turbo Duster mini Turbo Duster. Quick build, awesome airplane. Cannot wait to fly it. So all is good in this house. Oh, and I turned in my review, of the RunCam Eagle, which is a pretty darn cool camera.
Not only did the RunCam go live, but also this morning your review of the very awesome
Blade Manta.
Manta went live.
Yep, awesome airplane. I like it a lot.
I think you should chrome the front end of that thing so it looks like a 57 Chevy bumper.
It does have those nice female lines to it, doesn't it? Can I say that?
Bulbous.
Can I say that?
I don't think you can now. In fact, I've spent my whole life knowing, coming to the realizations of what can and cannot be said in polite society. And I realized yesterday that everything's changing so fast that I really have to edit myself before I open my chicken pie hole.
We got Probo Jag listening in, y'all.
What's happening, Jag? Jag was at Nashville this year. I said he was probably the youngest pro bro on the field.
Hey, did I tell you that I ran into a pro bro today doing a RC airplane deal?
Well, did you PM me today about this?
Yeah, I spoke to you about it.
Well, no, you spoke to me about it, but you didn't send me a PM, right?
Negative.
Well, tell us about your pro bro encounter.
I was selling one of my model airplanes, and I met the guy at a parking lot. Didn't know him. It was a Craigslist. So this sort of thing, happens. You're always sort of wary of who you're meeting on the, And the number he called me from, he finally got back to me, and then he said, hey, this isn't my number. This is my girlfriend's number. My phone is down. So instantly red flags are going, whoop, 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 So he's like, send me your address. Well, I never meet at my house for anybody. So I said, let's meet at the grocery store parking lot. Here's what I drive. See you there. And I met him there, and all was good. This dude was tall. I mean, I'm tall, and this guy I was looking straight up to him. I think his name's Mike. And anyway, we got into this talk, and he's like, so you're a RCGroups reviewer? And I'm like, yeah, I'm wearing my Flying Giant shirt. And I'm like, yeah, I did a review of this plane that you're buying a long time ago, and I've gotten my use out of it, and now it's time to let the next guy enjoy it. So anyway, long story short, you came up, Jim Graham. Then dude starts rattling off that he's a pro bro. And I'm like, how does this happen? So he's from Pennsylvania. He's a pro bro. And he said you would know him by his screen name, which was like Radio Aviator or something to that regards. And the dude's like, if he's not 6'9", he's 6'8".
Now, he might be the tallest pro bro if he's not Big Bird. Now, I don't know if Big Bird, Jason Donhockle, is an actual pro bro or not. I know he's been to Nashbro, but it's either Donhockle or Mike, the two tallest pro bros.
Yeah, Mike was up there. I don't see many tall dudes taller than me.
You ever get a text from somebody and have no idea who it's from, but you act like you know who it is because they obviously know you?
Yes, all the freaking time.
I got one this morning. It's from Nashville, and it says, so I found out a Facebook pal of mine in California is RCGroups user Zafakuzar. I know that name, actually. I can see his avatar in my mind. It says he was excited to know that I knew you. He posted a video on the timeline that said, if you don't go to RCGroups, you won't know what this is about. So evidently, whoever texted me, I guess I could ask who this is. But
that's faux pas, though.
Yeah. It's like saying, hey, what's your name again, Matt?
Yeah, after you talk to him for 10 minutes. Who are you?
You're like, new phone, who dis?
I'm the king. Yeah, I'm the king of not knowing who the heck I'm
Who is?
to.
Oh, dude, I'm up there with you, man.
All right, so I'm going to share a shipping thing, which I think all of us as RC pilots can relate to. But the intro into this, actually, it's all in the last 24 hours. So I blew the motor up on my ride lawnmower, and I knew I was relegated to pushing a lawnmower unless I went out and bought a new one. So I hit the Craigslist and found a riding lawnmower. I PM'd the guy, and he says, I'm in the same part of town you are. He literally was up the street from me. So this was a positive Craigslist experience. I went up. It was awesome. The price was even more awesome. And I said, will you bring it to my house on your trailer? And he goes, well, I don't know. I don't know where he's from, but it was.
You could tell he was foreign by his typing?
Yeah. Well, no, I actually met him at Lowe's at Home Depot. So he come and I said, hey, I come to my house and you can have my old lawnmower. And you could see he was like excited. So he shows up, brings my new mower, picks up my old mower. And then I said, my neighbor, you can have his mower too, which I got approved before I said that. And so this guy came to my house and left with 2 mowers after trading out one and cash.
Man, who got the better deal, you or him?
I think we all did, because my neighbor and I did not want these mowers in our driveways anymore. So I ship a unit via USPS. I always get I actually pay extra sometimes for shipping insurance from USPS, right? UPS I go to, and they're like, our prices are the same as USPS, but it's not. It's always more higher than I'm happy to pay. Do you find the same thing, Matt?
Yeah, FedEx is the best though. Get yourself without derailing your story here.
Yeah.
Get yourself a account on FedEx. Put in your credit card, and then you always weigh your box at the house. Type in your dimensions, and they always are cheaper. I mean, I can ship the biggest boxes for $30.
Will they pick it up from my house?
You can do a will call.
There's no FedEx shop in our town.
You can do a pickup, but
I have to drive halfway into Nashville for FedEx.
UPS store is a joke. It is the most overpriced situation I've ever been to.
I sent some RCGroups banner flags out, and it was $200, which at the time I had to do, and I was locked in. But anyway, so I start going to USPS. It's cheaper. It's easy. It's down the street. It's literally 5 minutes away, right? So I'm spending money for years on insurance, thinking if I lose something, they'll pay me back. Well, they lost something. It was going to Virginia, and it showed. I've got a receipt that says Lingham, Virginia, and it says
it's a good town.
Shipped to blah blah West Virginia, left on porch. I'm like, what? West Virginia?
More like thrown at porch.
Drove by and kicked out the door. So the post office here couldn't. They were like, we don't understand. Then the USPS people, I called them, and they were like, "Huh, this does seem strange." I'm like, "Yeah, you dropped it off in the wrong state. You didn't even get the wrong block."
Well, what's happened? What's the resolution gonna be?
That was on Saturday, right?
Yeah.
What's today? Thursday? Okay, first of all, that is too long of a time frame to take care of business in my estimation. So today they called me, and it was obvious nobody was paying me the $50 that they owed me. They were like, maybe you should contact the guy. I talked to like 6 people on the phone. I didn't get mad at them because it's USPS. That'd be like yelling at a wall. But I did realize that maybe I'm never going to buy shipping insurance again.
No, I roll the dice every time I ship anything nowadays. I've become complacent because I've had good experience. Now, the last bad experience I had with UPS, with USPS, was maybe 14 years ago, where I sent a saltwater filter, saltwater tank, or reef tank skimmer filter. It was made of plastic, and it got smashed. And then I had to eat it, and it wasn't good. So that was it. All my rest of my experiences, I've never had anything lost, never had anything delivered wrong. So I just roll with it. And I ship a lot of RC stuff. I mean, a ton of RC stuff.
Yeah, man.
So I always insure for what I sold it for. And that's it, man. If I really feel sketched out, which isn't usual, but if I do sign delivery. What about you, Jason?
I prefer horse and buggy.
There you go. Carrier pigeon.
Safer that way. No, I mean, yeah, I don't really. I mean, DHL seems to be pretty good.
Well, they get that stuff from China to my door.
Yeah, pretty dang quick.
Takes about a week.
DHL is the only company I've ever dealt with that sends unmarked people to your house in their personal cars. DHL is the Uber of shipping. They just get random people. I'll get some guy pulling in. He's wearing like, what are those like Cincinnati Bengals pants? You know those workout pants like this?
Such a bad idea to run up on somebody's porch like that.
I'm telling you, man. But he's got a package, so I'll take it.
Okay.
Well, I did, speaking of packages, so I did get my Ring installed. I'll pull it up here real quick. So I can have this kind of view. I don't know if you can see it.
Let me see what you got.
There it is. So you can kind of see when people's coming up on your house, you know, on your door. So I can see the trucks roll in, and I can see when they're coming, who they are, before you get out of my chair.
I got something for you, Jason. It's that focus pattern that you can...
Hey,
I'm going to need you to focus that to infinity, please.
It's actually 1080p on my screen here, but you can't, you know, it's getting transmitted over the interwebs. But it's pretty cool, and then I can actually hit a button and talk to whoever's out there. So I can just say, "Hey, leave it at the door." You know, if I'm in my undies or something. You never know.
Quite often.
You never know.
You're always in your undies.
I'm wearing undies right now.
Dude, my 3-year-old wears undies. You wear man jammies.
Hey, so Saturday night, I have just before I tell this story, I do have a almost crash story that will immediately follow this story.
Okay.
So it's 1 a.m. Saturday night, and a car stops right in the front of my window in the street, and all these people pile out and start heading into my neighbor's yard. So, Jason, what do you think I had in my pocket? I'll answer that. I had a high-power LED flashlight. So I walked up to the window, and I lit those people up. I mean, it's 1 a.m. You're walking into my neighbor's yard, like towards his house. I know who you are. I know who you're not. I lit them up, and it was teenagers, and I immediately knew, A, they were chasing Pokemons, and B, they were intoxicated.
Wait. Pokemon's still a thing?
No. These people are, I don't know what's going on. I just know that the girl was wasted, and when I lit them up, they turned around and looked at the light, and I took my light and motioned them to move along.
Nice, dude. Like raccoons in headlights.
Well, they motioned me to move along. And then I was like, oh, whatever. I don't care. Go chase your Pokemons, until the girl almost fell in the street and got hit by a car. I'm not kidding, by inches. Her friend grabbed her by the arm and yanked her out of the street as the car went by.
Holy moly.
So speaking of almost getting killed, and Jason, I'm not telling this story on you. This is a warning, cautionary tale that we all know. But so we're testing out a quad, and we were doing the test video, and I had a camera right here in front of my face, cowboy hat on. I can't tell you how many times a cowboy hat has kept me from getting my skull crushed in by multiple things over the years. But I'm rolling on the test flight, and the quad was literally at my feet. And right as Jason was hitting the throttle, I thought, you know, this thing's never flown before. And as I thought that quad went up and came right back at me, and it was headed right to my face. And I thought, I have a camera in front of my face. Run! So I ran out of the way. And I saw the footage today. And what did you do? It came up to my face, and somehow you flipped it away from me?
I was able to flip it away. What has happened was the tune on it was when you gave it a little bit of throttle. I guess maybe the battery voltage off a fresh charge was a little hot, and it got into this oscillation that made it increase in altitude. You know, not giving it throttle input, but it gets in this oscillation where it just kind of jumps up on its own.
Wow.
And it did that, and I should have just put it farther away. We've never flown it before. you know, Jim or I shouldn't have been that close to it. So safety.
It's called hindsight, right?
Yeah, hindsight.
Yeah.
So yeah, it came up. It was really close, and it was like so fast, but I was able to pull the roll stick and flip it up out of the way. And
I don't know if it had got me. If I'd have stayed still, I think it would have flipped up into the camera. But I noticed as I ran off, my arm came out and that thing went woo. So it was me running that might have gotten my fingers chopped up. Maybe, I don't know how bad it would have got me. I've been hit by a quad before and it didn't do more than just chop up the top of my skin.
Yeah. So when you're test flying a quad, folks,
don't do it at your feet.
Put it a little bit away from you. Play it safe.
That's always
I usually, when I do test flights in my house, normally I test fly a quad in my living room, which can be kind of dangerous, but I'll pull like this closet door open and I'll peek around the corner and fly, and just in case it comes back at me or something weird. So
good. That's good to know, dude.
Safety measures.
Yeah.
Take them.
I had a quad. I don't know if I said this on the last. Yeah, I did. Where it was like, wow! It's like a bass boat went off in front of me. It was crazy.
It's the same quad that you're talking about.
Yeah, it's that quad.
It's the Row.
Wow. All right. So, do we have any Mavic updates from you, Jason? Was that a live conversation or a non-live conversation?
Well, it's going with me to the pumpkin chunk. I'm heading out first thing in the morning, like 5 o'clock in the morning.
Wait, I'm confused. It's
Pumpkin
working
chunk.
Now?
It's working. It's worked. I've got a camera issue on it, and I'm gonna have to get the camera replaced. It seems like the sensor is misaligned in the housing, and so the left side is out of focus, right side's a little out of focus. But
yeah, a couple people have reported that. I guess it's the law of numbers, man. You pump out 20,000 of these things, and maybe 50 of them are bad, and 7 of those people are on RCGroups. So then now there's 7 reports of camera problem, and then now the whole world's crashing down.
yeah,
I
absolutely. Once I get the camera fixed, the thing is awesome. It flies so nicely. I love the flight time. I'm getting like 25-minute flight times.
Me too.
You guys were talking offline, I think it was Monday or Tuesday, about the cool things that it could do that you did not think it could do or didn't know that it could do. Can you guys speak on that a little bit?
What was that? I think this past weekend, I went out and got on my little Segway and just got out in a big field and put it in active track and let it follow me around. And then there's a little slider when it's following you that you can make it do orbits, rotate around you. And you don't have to be in a fixed position. So I could be driving on my Segway in a line or curve line or whatever, and it'll actually follow and rotate around you, keeping the camera on you the whole time. It works amazing. I was so impressed with it.
Do you have it there near you?
No, it's downstairs.
I do. I got mine. I'll grab it.
Show yours, Matt.
I got all my stuff ready to pack in the car this evening.
I got the Rodeo. Pretty hip. Everyone's pretty excited about that. Actually, I read this is one of the top-selling quads right now.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if that's a true fact or just something somebody
They actually used that in the Tom Cruise movie instead of CGI. They flew those around.
This thing's awesome. The Rodeo is awesome.
So here's something that I didn't know that the Mavic does, and it doesn't really pertain to me too much, but it's cool that it's not talked about, is that the Mavic has software zoom. And I thought that was interesting. I mean, have people been talking about that?
You talking about the 4K? You can do digital zoom and it's
you can digital zoom. So you've got the 5-position switch on your transmitter, and if you do you can set it up on that 5 position, where if you rock it back and forth, it'll do a digital zoom. It'll zoom in and zoom out. I thought it was pretty neat, man. Yeah. I mean, I don't know about. I've always found it's easier to fly closer to a target.
Well, I think it's cool for like search and rescue stuff. So if you're flying along at a fixed altitude and then you might see something, instead of descending and wasting time to get you could kind of zoom in on that object and get a better view and then keep moving. So
how's that dome bubble affecting your?
Oh no, it's not for flight. All this is a protection during. See, it pops off.
Yeah, you can fly with it on.
I don't know why you would.
Crash, you're in a bad spot, but your footage is not going to look as good as.
It's like looking through.
Yeah.
This right here.
If you get it in the right setting, like with the sun behind you, there's no reflections, it can look okay, and like you can't tell that it's there. But as soon as you get off an angle in the sun, it reflects and causes, auras and crap in the feed, and you get reflections, and it's not really suitable for getting good footage. You can get okay footage, and if it's for your personal use, it's no big deal.
So here's something that's a pain in the butt: is that little gimbal holder is hard to put in. Like I'm not even kidding, man. I fumble more with getting that thing situated in there than anything else, because what you have to do is it slides in, boop, easy to pull out, right? Hard to put back in. So what you do is you put it like that, and you push that down just a little bit, like so, and then you have to then you have to push that in there and not put your finger on the lens. I can't do it one-handed.
I got it. Yeah, one-handed you can't. One-handed, like holding the quad. I've got it down pretty good now.
So Matt, do you need me to make you in the waistband holster for that thing?
Oh, dude, that would be like the most hip thing you would ever see.
Your bag does have a belt slide in the back. So
I saw that. Look at this thing, man. What is that for?
What?
That.
That's the landing gear, so you don't land on the sensors.
Oh yeah, that's right. I thought it was rested on these little guys. But why does it like that though? Why has it got the 2 holes in it?
Oh well, I was talking about the bag, but I don't know why. Maybe just light. I don't know.
I instantly sold my bag.
Yeah.
For $80 on eBay, instantly, free shipping, $80. And then the guy said, "I need it so bad. Will you overnight it to me? I'll pay you $30." So I was like, "Sure, no problem." So I made a ton of money off selling that man purse, and then I turned right around and bought this case right here. Not this exact one, but bought this case. So
what's that man purse look like? Now I'm curious.
It's right here. I've got it. You want me to grab it?
Yeah, I'd like to eyeball it. That's pretty awesome. Oh wow, well, you got RCA out back there.
Now this is my FPV. I bought the same case. This is just a Seahorse SE520.
Oh, gotcha.
This is my FPV case.
Yeah.
So I've got all sorts of good stuff in here. Got the Eagle Tree, got the monitor. I've got goggle in, goggle out.
What would something like that cost?
These cases are about $60, and I've put, I don't know, enough crud in it to be about $100 worth of junk in it, maybe. Well, no, it's got the black pearl in it. The black pearl.
So here's the bag.
All right, let me switch off. Stop presenting. And present to Jason. Here you go.
Presenting the DJI Mavic bag. So
no, it's a man purse.
It's not very big. It holds the drone. You've got a couple of slots, and you've got a place. You can actually put an iPad mini in here. It sticks out the top a little bit, but it all fits. You've got a nice spot inside where you can put the drone, and then you can actually stick one of the batteries in there, and then the controller, and you can fit more batteries on the side pouches. I don't know if it's showing very good.
Just like a camera case.
But it is just like a camera case. Now, I, like Matt, I bought a backpack a little bit bigger, maybe twice this size. It allows me to hold stuff and just get to it more easily. I can use that backpack as a landing pad if I'm in some tall grass or something where the gimbal can't initialize.
There you go. Good idea.
So I'm going to keep this bag, though, for vacations and things where I want to take it, where I just need the controller, the iPad or my phone and the few batteries, and that'll all fit in this and carry it around super compact and portable. It's just, it's really nice quality. It's a good quality bag, but it's just a little bit too small and too compact for my everyday use. But for certain situations where you need to be that small, then this would be great.
It'd be hard to fit. I think you'd be hard pressed to fit multiple batteries, the controller, your iPad, and a charger in there, right?
Right. Yeah, the chargers won't really fit, but you can
you can finagle it.
There's more room than you think when you first look at it. I was able to cram more stuff than I thought I would, but it's just not very user-friendly for everyday use. That's why I wanted a little bit bigger bag. But we did have a question on the comment section that can you FPV the Mavic? And yes, you can. It's actually an HD 1080p feed for close distance, and then once you range out, it's a 720p feed. And the latency, I gotta say, is pretty dang low. It blows away the older Lightbridge systems on latency. Like,
oh wow,
I couldn't FPV with a Lightbridge set up before. I actually didn't even use it on our big aerial photography drone because the latency was just pretty bad.
It's almost half. The latency is is 100 or about 50% faster than my Inspire 1. So whereas the Inspire 1 almost felt like 3/4 of a second to a 1 second, this is way less than half a second. I mean, I was literally, you do the old, here we go, and move your hand and you try to gauge it, and it's not bad, man. It's perfectly doable.
It's not something you're going to want to go like super proximity blasting through forests and stuff with, because it's just, you don't want to crash it into a tree like you do with a racing drone. You don't, you're going to probably break something if you crash it. Maybe not, but it's certainly not as durable as a true like racer drone that's made for that kind of thing. But if you wanted to FPV around and get close to some things, safely, it's going to do that really well. I think a lot of guys are just flying with the dome on, not even recording, just flying around for fun, because it is really fun to fly. And you get a lot of flight time. That 20+ minute flight time is, you don't even really think about it until you have something that's capable of how much that matters when you're actually there having fun and doing something.
It's a beast, man. I really like it. It's a small little beast. It's I've yet to hit the 30% first battery warning yet. I've just been flying around having fun. I'm like, okay, time to land, and then it'd be at 40%, 50% battery. So it's a big change from my Inspire 1, and I'm digging it. The only problem I had so far was that random GPS cutout, and they said that the latest firmware fixed that, but apparently it still happens. However, it may not happen a lot, but I've had the GPS cut out and stay out for over a minute, and it was at 17 or 14 satellites, and then all of a sudden just instantly said bad GPS fix, and then it dropped to 0 and stayed there for over a minute of flight time, and then just all of a sudden, bam, pop right back up to 14. So there's no interference that caused that.
Did you check the KP log rating for that day to see how the interference was in the atmosphere?
I did not, but in my defense, I probably flew 10 times, actually maybe about 7 times, and nothing. And then all of a sudden, bam, just a complete cutout. And I was like, that's odd. Could have been, though. You're right. Could have been a solar flare issue, something like that.
He'll be saying in the chat that he's been hearing things about flyaways with the Mavic. Have you heard about flyaways? I haven't heard any flyaways with the Mavic.
So here's the deal. I think that some people are not used to non-GPS control. So when they get up there and the wind, all of a sudden it's just sitting there in ADI mode and it starts going, with the wind, or starts moving, because wind aloft is always higher than it is down on the ground, usually. I think that's what happened, because that's what happened with mine. And when it went into ADI mode, the wind up there was probably 10 to 15 miles an hour. I say at like 300 feet. So instantly I was looking at the view and it started going. And it's going at 15 miles an hour away from me, Yeah. And so to me, that was easy to fix, because I'm just flying FPV. I'm looking right at it and I know what to do. I have no GPS. It's in ADI. It's not uncontrollable, but it's drifting with the wind. Now, to somebody that's never flown before or has very low stick time or FPV time, they could construe that as a flyaway.
Yeah.
Right? That's what I think. That's my personal opinion.
You might be thinking of like that Casey YouTuber guy thing that, basically lost his Mavic, one of the pre-production ones or whatever. He was flying at, sunset, low light, so the
vision wasn't
obstacle
working.
Avoidance systems weren't working. They don't work in low light. He flew it in the middle of a city, behind buildings, way out of line of sight, and then he lost it. So it probably lost signal, returned to home, didn't have the obstacle avoidance stuff on, probably crashed into something. Who knows what happened to it? But
did he ever recover it?
That's user stupidity.
Yeah. Did he put it in the drink or what? I don't know.
He never found it, so who knows where it is.
Someone found it. Well, maybe they didn't.
By the way, that's a great example of why you should always put some sort of contact information on your plane. We all should have that beautiful FAA number on there.
Oh my gosh, it's the first RC product that I put my FAA number on. I hated to do it, but I did it. Inconspicuously under the battery, you don't see it unless you're looking for it.
Mm-hmm. That's a good place for it too, because you can legally put it there, because you don't have to remove any screws to get to that under the battery. So good job, Jason. Well, that's a good. It's also a good reason to put your name on this stuff, because if you ever want to get your toys back, especially if you're flying FPV, it's in your best interest to put your name on it. What you got there, Jimbo?
Hey, we all talked about this Opterra last week, but an interesting thing happened in the thread. Now, we had a user in here that was kind of giving a little trouble, if you ask me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to name any names. Let's just say it involves a car. But here's what's interesting.
I didn't do nothing.
Here's what's interesting. They were calling out the designers. So they were like, who designed this? Who are these guys? Well, either I'm pretty old or these guys are pretty new to the hobby, because George Hicks, George hasn't done anything in a while, but Mike McConville, come on, he's at every big event there is. So the interesting part, I'm scrolling down here, is that Mike McConville joined the conversation.
Nice.
So he's actually answering questions about the Opterra, and I'm sure he would answer about other things. I sent him a little PM, and I said, hey, man, you guys are really on the leading edge here of, as far as a big company goes, of FPV craft. I'll go back to the picture of the Opterra. And I had already, the funny part is I had called Mike about 2 months ago trying to get one of their new aerobatic, I think it was a Sukhoi, saying, I think the AS3X is an awesome thing to have on an FPV aerobatic plane, and I want one just for that reason. And then we didn't know they were about to come out with all these things. So the Type W and the this thing's coming out, and who knows what else they have up their sleeves.
Who knows? They have lots.
They're always working.
And this thing's pretty awesome. Now, it's got everything. So you can FPV it from the top. You can put your GoPro in the nose, or whatever configuration you want. It's light. I think it runs on a 3-cell, right, Matt?
Yeah, 3S. I think there was something small, like a 3200. Yeah, there he is. 2200, 3200, 3S.
Which we all have.
I've got a take on this. I've already formed an opinion on this aircraft, and it goes against all the hate that has been, not all the hate, but some of the negativity that has been voiced about this one. So here's my take. If you look at all the wings that are out there, almost every one of these sort of wings has one thing in common. They are relatively heavy, not lightweight, but they're fast, they penetrate air well, and they're designed for going really fast and turning hard. Even the big wings are heavy. They take a lot of battery. So this is and people were complaining that it was too lightweight.
Right.
And then that it didn't have enough battery. And okay, that's fine. Yes, it is lightweight and it is a small battery.
Look at that.
I know, that's insane, dude. But the reality is that why can't there be something completely different than the norm? This is that plane that is different from the standard configuration of hot and heavy wing FPV, where this plane is lightweight, it's floaty, it's designed to stay aloft. Even on a short battery, you can just cut the power if you're up there and just enjoy the scenery. So it might be a different aircraft to have in your hangar versus the same old style. If they released this, that it took two 4S 3200s that are across each wing on the front, like most of these designs are, why would that appeal? Because everybody has that. So I think it's good that they've done something different here, made it really lightweight and floaty.
And look,
what batteries does it use?
This is a single
3.
Yeah, single 3S 2200
Holy cow.
to 3200. So you can put a 3200 in it and probably just take it up, cut the power, and glide around, then go back up, or just fly around.
That is not an airfield they're flying in. There's trees all around them, so they're just popping it in and out of these holes.
Now here's my caveat, I guess.
Shelby said amen to that.
What?
That speech there.
Now here's my caveat though. I think that you're limited in range with that Spectrum radio sitting next to that 5.8, whatever 5.8 you decide to use. Now you do have wingspan on your side, so you can separate it. But
motors farther back.
Yeah, but what I'm thinking is that the AS3X is going to be right in the middle. The receiver is going to be right there in the middle, You're not going to get a lot of separation, and you're not going to be able to go fly miles with this thing. I mean,
but you shouldn't fly miles. That's illegal.
No,
of
you're
course.
using a Spectrum radio too, so you can only go a mile, max.
Yeah. Now I was getting cutouts on the other side of the field with my Manta, and I said that in the review, is that it did cut out on the other side of the field, and I think that's because it just, the 600 milliwatt 5.8 was overpowering it.
Right.
So,
Did they say the flight time anywhere on there? I don't remember seeing it.
I don't know. I don't think they did.
That looks fun right there.
I'm going to guess 20 minutes of flight time if you are playing with the throttle. And if you get really conservative, I'm going to guess you could probably get 28 minutes out of it.
Never mind.
Have you guys been to this airfield? Have you been to the Horizon airfield?
I have.
I've been to the Hobbico airfield, but not that one.
Yeah, I've been here. I was here for a jet event. I took my wife with me. I've sat under that little cover. Well, anyway, I just thought it was cool that Mike jumped in there, and it's I usually get excited about things that I want.
Well, so do you want that, Wayne? Because I thought you said that was in my wheelhouse.
Well,
you take it.
I think you're better at a wing.
No. You take it.
I have a limited 30-acre square to fly around. You have that cool backland,
Let's just say that I want it, but if you want it, you take it, because I just did the Manta. How about that?
Well, we'll see.
We'll see what happens, right?
We're working on a deal anyway.
I think it's a cool airplane. And I still have my Manta.
He said, speaking of Spectrum, will they fix the hacking issue? Do you guys seen that story I posted?
I really don't think anyone's going to be hacking my Spectrum.
Yeah,
what are they going to do with it when they hack it?
Well, they can take over. So if he's got this, I can't remember what he called it now. I wrote the article on it.
What are they going to do? Hack racing drones? I mean, there's nothing like. That's just it. Or either you hack Spectrum is either quads racing or it's line of sight. You're not seeing any high-tech, crazy aerial photography usually.
Well, here's the thing. So
Spectrum.
This is kind of a proof of concept, and I don't think it's particularly legal, at least in the United States. Maybe other places, I'm not sure. But he made this thing
with a BlackBerry Pi, right?
Can take over DSMX radio systems. So it basically, there's a video that shows how he does it. He can intercept the signal and basically lock you out as a pilot, and then take over full control on his radio.
Is this on his YouTube channel?
Yeah, it's in. I put the video in the article I did.
Why don't the FAA just go arrest that guy?
Well, I don't. He may not. Well, it was a PACSEC security researcher. So this is like a research thing, that they did, but they proved that it was possible. It's just digital, hacking, and it's basically possible on just about any digital thing. There may be some different protocols like Futaba and some of that stuff that is less susceptible to it, but still probably not 100%. But it's just a thing that can be done. Nobody's really doing it. Nobody really knows how to do it except for this one guy. It's not something that's going to be happening and is going to be a problem, but it's just kind of interesting that technology exists and that is a possibility.
Yeah, I think what he probably should do is just sell the idea. I mean, it probably works, and it'd be a great way of ticking off somebody at a field. This basically amounts to exactly what would happen under 72 megahertz, which happened all the time, which is somebody turns on their radio and then has the same control and an airplane crashes. Right.
Good point.
Yeah. So that's exactly now what has happened with 2.4 for Spectrum. And
well, it's not the same because they're not interfering. They're completely hijacking the system.
Mm-hmm.
So they're taking complete control. Yeah. You got to be within range. You got to be within a mile or whatever the range limit is, and there's all these things that make it not very feasible. But I think what the point is that they might sell that to is high sensitive areas, government, facilities and things where they want to keep drones away from spying or whatever happens on that kind of level. They would use something like this to basically detect and take over any kind of drone coming into that airspace and, take it down or do whatever. It's just one way to combat, what people could do with drones at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Let's find that story real fast before we jump out of there.
Let's go to the all RC section or the airplane section. Maybe I'd put it in drones. It is. I just had it. It's called Drone Hijacking is a Thing Now. It's in the multi-rotor talk section. So if you go to multi-rotor channel page, you shall find it.
Well, Matt Gunn, let's talk about this real quick.
Oh, yeah, a little owl. Or not owl.
I love that it's orange. How many times have you thrown a camera off of a unit and then we're like, it's black and you have to find that thing somewhere?
I did that last year and still haven't found it. It was a ready-made RC 700 TVL. It's an $80 camera I lost out in a field because it was all black. I must have searched for 3 hours. Couldn't find it. So it's nice that it's orange. And you can get it in black as well. So it is that's a cool camera, man. I'm digging it.
$64.99, 800 TVL. That's a lot of TVL there.
Mm-hmm.
130 FOV, which is awesome.
Yep, it's not too distorty, but it's just enough, you know.
Oh, come on, Jason. Here we go.
All right, you guys gonna make fun of me?
Oh no, I don't do that. That's your guys' thing.
Ready?
Hey everyone, it's Matt Gunn.
That's not it. That's not what I sound like.
Yeah, that's not it. That's not what I sound like.
There you go. It's hey everybody, Matt Gunn here, RCGroups.com. Want to thank you for tuning into this video review. And sitting in front of you is the Eagle. Now this is a camera, and it is for FPV, and it's orange. And if you like orange, well, look at this. That's a antenna, and that's a blue antenna. And this is a Sky Hunter.
By the way, nice servo hatch thing there you got there. I've never seen that before.
Hey, that was out of necessity, and it worked really well.
I've never seen that, and I'm sure people have been doing it for 20 years, but I may steal that concept.
Please do so, because it works and works well. And it gets rid of the magnet that is a big-time interference on your rig.
This smells like a story. Is there a piece of wood under there holding it?
Nothing. No, there's goop holding the screw in, and the screw has goop inside the body, holding it in, and then the thing spins freely. So
very nice. Now, why can't we just control the angle of the camera from a micro servo built into the stand? Why hasn't that happened yet?
I think you can. They have a couple of those, but it's bulky and not cool.
I have 3 of them sitting on my table waiting for the right airplane.
Yeah.
What are you saying for so long? This thing is orange.
Well, I'm talking about the Sky Hunter too. Yeah, I talked about the plane itself and how awesome it is, and then here we are, and it's cold, man. That it is. By the way, that's all mud. You can see my tires on my truck. I'm just standing in 2 inches of mud all across there.
What kind of hat do you have on there?
That's my tactical hat.
How does that camera do indoors with spotlights on T-shirts to be able to see the wall? How does it do in that kind of scenario?
Wow, that's a very unique and specific scenario.
Shout out to Johnny Chaos. John from Johnny Systems. He'll know what I'm talking about.
I got to beat that guy.
So here we go.
Hold on. Hey, Johnny Chaos. I'm Billy Hill. Nice to meet you. See, that's what I want to do. Anyways.
Here comes my flight. You guys ready? Any second. You like my up on top there?
I like those taillights.
Yeah, those are hot, aren't they?
You doing
that
rolling
does
that?
not look appropriate.
Oh, that was funny, man. That was good stuff.
That antenna placement is just brutal.
What do you mean?
Back that video up just a little bit to Matt standing there after he launches.
No, it's not brutal. What should it have been?
Oh, never mind.
Oh, I see. Okay, I see where you're going with this.
Now, all of you hit pause and go back because obviously we're not doing it. I love how low you're getting here, man. How far away are you from yourself?
Oh, right now about 100 feet.
I'm sure we
But,
somewhere on this
so
side.
that is I said it wasn't windy there, but I kind of was wrong because this little plane, all these little planes weigh nothing, right? So it is actually getting bumped around. That's why it's moving around so much. And I have no stabilizer on at all. I'm just
Really?
flying en naturel. So it's
So you're running the micro vector, so you could put a gyro on this thing if you wanted to.
It's already got one. It's got it built into it.
Is it on right now?
No, it's off. So
Right.
I'm flying.
That's why you see that cool OSD right there.
Right, but I would think you'd have it on. Do you have it on a switch so you can just flip
Yes,
it
it is on a switch.
But
And
you
then
might be natural.
well, no, just for this flying because it's just it just holds wings level and it's kind of pointless if I'm banging around low, you know?
I know we're talking about the camera, but why does the arrow or the plane? What is the little icon that keeps changing in the center of the screen?
That's my home position. So I've got it set as the plane being the home position, as if I'm on that plane, and then that red thing, it means I'm flying away from home, and I need to turn 180 degrees to head back towards it. Watch
That's
this.
odd.
So now when I turn around, see how it's going to bring it out in front now?
Yeah.
Now that means just put that in front of you, and then you'll go home. When it's
Gotcha.
green, green
Gotcha.
means you're heading the correct way. Red means you're heading away.
Gotcha.
John says you need to try gyro mode.
Oh yeah, gyro mode is kind of stabilized, but doesn't, or it sort of buffets out the. It's sort of like AS3X, I think, right?
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes it
That
fly
is the
gooder.
future.
Makes it fly gooder, right?
Yeah.
More gooder.
But this thing is a great flying airplane, and I think the camera's pretty good too. This doesn't do a whole lot of justice looking at it right now, but it's a good quality, man. I mean, it's got a really good quality. I enjoy it. Hey, inverted flying around. Here's my inverted turn. Oh no, I didn't do it. Oh, here's my crash. You guys ready? All right, here we go. You ready? Here's the crash. I'm going to hit these trees right about here. Here we go.
I got
Pull
this.
up.
Oh, it came out of nowhere.
Pull up.
Terrain.
Oh, I'm back flying again, just like that. It
You hit the
relaunched
reset
itself.
button.
I did.
Yeah, the Vector has a reset button, just like on real flight.
This is a simulator, right? This wasn't real life.
Yeah, this is all sim.
I wish I had that real flight 10 so I could fly like this just right here at the desk.
Note to self, on 3S, the little Sky Hunter isn't very fast. I've got it pretty much pegged right now, and we're only doing about 35 miles an hour.
But you didn't know that there was a 70-mile-per-hour headwind.
That's the
I
truth.
think it's really hauling butt.
Although, look at that amp draw, man. I'm just about wide open. It's pulling 7 amps. That's awesome. 7 amps is like low cruise for all my big giant airplanes.
I was going to mention this. I was watching a video. I was listening to Bob Hoover talk about airplanes.
Mhm.
And they redesigned a wing to put a tank in it because they were running out of drop tanks. This has a point. And they thought that the redesigned wing was going 25 miles an hour faster, and he didn't believe it. So he went up and he looked over and he said the pitot tube was too close to the fuselage. And he said you have to have it at 50% out of the wing to get it into clean air. I did not know that. My pitot tubes are all near the fuselage. So for all you
I think
guys,
it's a buildup of, you get this buildup of pressure right in front of the leading edge.
well, you just got to get it away from the fuselage and more towards the tip, which I will.
And
Remember
flying
that-
inverted fanciness.
Thanks, Bob Hoover. The
Yeah,
thing
man.
about FPV inverted, I guess you could watch your altitude, but you just can't feel how much you're sinking, you know?
It's
It
fun.
takes
We at the Flying Circus thing, we do inverted, like try to fly through gates and stuff, and just fool around. It's kind of fun.
Jason's a king of inverted.
There's my yeah. It's interesting once you finally once it clicks when you go inverted and you start going down, then you realize how close you are to the ground and you level off. It sort of clicks because I was the same way. When I first tried inverted, it always felt like I was just going to pile drive it into the ground. But then you sort of go, okay, I got a feel for this now, and it's still nerve-wracking. And turning is the most difficult thing because you turn the opposite way to make your plane go the way you want. So,
Or even rudder.
yeah.
Just trying to using the rudder to straighten things out.
So overall, I think the Eagle is a decent camera. Now this is all tested stock. I didn't adjust a single thing on the camera, and I just wanted everyone to see how it was out the box because not every single person wants to go into the OSD and start fiddling around. For those that do, they can post their settings and show me how cool they are. So
I must love FPV because I probably could just keep watching this.
yeah, she's ripping, man. It's a good little plane.
Very cool. So there it is. There's all the stuff you get.
Hey, there's the latency test I did. So it's 45 milliseconds on the latency down there at the bottom. There it is. I did the test on it, and it showed just about 45 milliseconds. You could see how it was changing to between 45 and 50. So
very cool.
Perfectly acceptable for FPV, I think, right? 45 milliseconds.
Hey, we've been holding some live viewers now for a good long time.
Yeah,
usually they come in hard and then start to
taper.
Raw.
Little taper action.
I've got nothing new here, man. I have no new airplanes. The Type W is yet to show up. I've got my DX6E sitting here.
Yeah, what do you think of that little guy?
I have some thoughts. What did this remind me of? I don't remember right now, but this is it. So the thing about this, I'm quoting numbers here without anything in front of me. I think it retails for $149. So my DX9 is in the back. It is all plastic, but it has a little heft to it. You know, you don't want it to be too light, like a cheapo thing that came with something. Here, the thing that I really like is that the menu system on this 6 is exactly like my 9. So if you're a 9 guy and you want to get a transmitter that works something you already know, but you don't want to spend full price, I got a video going in the background here. I'm going to turn that off. This is a great option for that. Mm-hmm. The other thing there's a few things that I'm excited about. It's a wireless buddy box. So if Truman decided that he wanted to head out and fly something with me, this would be a great, inexpensive way to get him on a buddy box with my 9. And then you can see it in the back here. There's a little switch so you can move this, and then it would center all your sticks and put them on springs, you know. And it will also reverse the sticks.
Well, that's easy.
Yeah. And your standard bind button right here. Mm-hmm. And then the on and off, I'm not a huge fan of this. Not that it matters. It's no big deal. There's no slider. You hold it, and then the screen comes on.
Interesting.
Throttle.
Now, does that one integrate with your cell phone?
I don't think so. Are they supposed to?
I don't know.
I should look that up. Now, there are some things on here, and we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. I don't understand. One thing I do like is that it has, this window. I'm going to fix this before next week. There's a window right in front of where I sit. There's a multi-rotor option here. So you have planes, helis, and multi-rotors. That's pretty cool. And this is really made for a quadcopter FPV racing type person. I don't have any complaints. I'm going to turn it off now, except for one. And I'm sure I haven't gone on the site to see the solution. But
double A's.
Yeah, you can imagine it. There's double A's back here.
What do double A's look like? I can't see them. There's a cover.
You got to be able to just pop a pack in there, right? I mean, it's a double A tray in there, isn't it?
And the reason I don't like the slide on and off is I have been trying to turn this thing off since I said I was going to turn it off, and I still haven't got it turned off. There we go.
There it goes.
One thing it does have that's interesting is the antenna is adjustable.
Look at that.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's a first.
I have no issues with my switches, but what it doesn't have, I'm pretty sure, are sliders.
I never use those anyway.
I use them only when I have pan and tilts. Mm-hmm. And if this is my FPV transmitter, I would probably at least want one no, I need two. I need one to pan and to tilt. And so I run those on here. But once again, $149, that is awesomely inexpensive for what you have to assume is a good radio. And it came with the receiver.
Now, does it, like I was saying, does it have a battery tray in the back, or is it just automatically in there? Because if it's got a tray, you should be able to put a pack in there.
So there's your batteries.
Looks like a tray. Yeah, you don't have to pull it all apart. But.
I'm going to do it anyway, because if not now, then when?
Ooh, nice quote.
Well, that is my motto for life. Now is always, okay. Here's a little thing that just fell out of there.
So that does look like it's a tray. All right, so you can easily stick a receiver pack in there, a NiCad or NiMH. Good.
Yeah.
I wonder if the option is available as an upgrade on the site. That would, if it can be done, and it's not too expensive, you could just order that and order the upgraded NIMH pack, and you're good to go.
It mattered enough for me to mentally think I'm going to go check on that.
Yeah.
Other than that, that is the only thing I have now. And then I sat and debated with myself: are AA's better? Because when I run this out of batteries, and I always carry AA's because of this, I always have something running on AA's. If I run out of battery, I can just dump them and put new batteries in, and I'm instantly on, as opposed to having to charge for 2 hours. You know, so maybe AA's are better. I don't know. I guess that depends.
It depends on where you get them from. You know, like
Right.
you can get the El Cheapo. You get El Cheapo ones from Harbor Freight for like, you can get 60 of them for a nickel, or it's like get the Duracells for $8.
I don't have any gimbal issues. I don't use the gimbals and think, these aren't, you know, whatever. There's a few different kinds of gimbals, but I don't feel it. I'm sure somebody out there would really be finicky about that gimbal, but I like it. And I love that it's a backup. You know, it's always good to have two. And so when I do get the Type W, that's going to go on here, and then I'm going to fully utilize this on that.
Cool.
Awesome. Well, we got 3 minutes till top of the hour, but I got a question to pose for you guys. So, do you think that the tiny whoop phase has passed?
Oh, it's just getting started.
Well, let me ask you this. The Horizon came up with their Inductrix FPV tiny whoop thing. Did we all, I think, Matt, I would ask the same question. Did we all get excited? And I haven't moved on. There's no replacement for my tiny whoop.
Yeah. I just haven't seen, like that Inductrix, by the way, FPV is getting great reviews. Everyone's liking it. I just haven't seen the online chatter as much about the tiny whoop that there was 2 months ago, 3 months ago. You know?
I don't know if I've said this online. Go ahead, Jason.
What? Oh, I was just going to say, I think, you know, it became available, it blew up at the wrong time. Like it was summer, right? So we're all outside flying big stuff, having fun. And then now that it's winter is approaching, winter is coming.
Winter
is coming.
Game of Thrones fans out there. I think the whooping scene's going to be a lot more vocal now. We're
That's Game of Thrones, the whooping.
See a lot of whooping. You know, in houses, they just started the indoor flying for the winter season here locally, and I think they're going to be setting up little whooping courses for
you can race
to whoop it around. Yeah, so I think the weather is going to play a part in how that scene appears.
So
interesting.
Here's my thought. I have a father-in-law. I have lots of humorous stories. This is like 15 years ago. He got a Wingo. Maybe it was longer. And we went to Florida, and we were driving to go get food or something. He said, let's pull over. I want to taxi around my Wingo. And this is when I learned that when a newbie says they're going to taxi, it really means they're going to take off. He's taxiing around like on the side of the highway in Florida in a big empty lot. And I said, just don't go too, and before I could say fast, he was in the air and crashed into a pine tree. So he's always wanting the next big thing. And so right now he posted a link to a $25,000 quad like one of you guys might have, right? Joking. It was a joke. But what I told him was, you need the new Inductrix FPV, and just buy the whole set with the LCD screen and the mount for if you want to put it in front of your face. And that's where I would say to any FPV guy, anyone who's never FPV'd before, I'd say get something like that to start with. It's inexpensive, and you're going to have a lot more fun flying around your house than losing your quad in the back 40. Don't you think?
Yep. Oh, yeah. Because they can just be banged off the walls, as we have seen hundreds of times. I love them for that reason.
It's an entry-level FPV plane that keeps giving, too. It's not like you're going to go, I'm bored. You know, I fly it at parties when I use it, maybe not lately, but for a while there, I was just never stopping the FPV on the tiny whoop.
And
sounds like a new Justin Timberlake song. Don't stop the FPV.
Never stopping the tiny whoop.
Wow.
I feel like the record button's off, and now we've I was thinking last week when we hit stop broadcast, and then we were all 10 times funnier than we were the second before. When we were doing the podcast, I would let it roll in the podcast and then put the hilarious stuff after the song as kind of a bonus track.
Sure.
But now we just can't do that anymore.
Yeah. Well, it's all for the good. Don't worry.
Oh, is it? So, Jason, tell everyone where you're going in case they want to go and meet you there.
Croatia.
Oh, come on out, y'all. I'm heading back to Croatia. No, certainly not. No, I'm heading down to the Pecan Patch.
Pecan.
First, it's about a 4-hour drive from here to Georgia to the Patch, and we're having a big old DLG discus launch glider contest. But there's also going to be night flying festivities going down tomorrow night, Saturday night. I'll see Mark and Judy. We'll see a lot of the DLG guys in the sailplane community out there having fun. So wish me luck. I'm going to be competing.
Mark on the left and Judy on the right.
It's a great costume.
That's Jason and the kid down there.
Talk about repurposing the Addams family for the most obscure thing they would ever think that would happen is putting DLGs in their hand.
Look at that. Let's zoom in on this right here. So Mark lives here.
Dude.
And there's a house.
Nirvana, man.
And so, like, he mows in FPV tracks for you to follow, right?
I haven't been there in so long.
There's
an
RC
car track. And you can go, it goes back for, like, so long, and there's all these cart trails, and you can just get down and FPV them low and fly around. It's an amazing place to fly. I'm so excited. I'm bringing a couple of racing drones and stuff with me to play around with after hours and before we get started tomorrow, just to have fun with, because it's just a great facility. So I'm looking forward to it.
Jason. You're living the dream, man.
I'll be camping out in my Eno hammock. It's gonna get down in the mid-40s, I think, Saturday night or something. So I'm gonna have to bundle up.
So for everyone watching, where was that? The Pumpkin Chuck link is right here in the hand launch section or the sailplane section of RCGroups. Click right there and click right here. And then Jason also provided a link to the event thread so you can get all the information you need. So just go on down there.
It's a good time. It's kind of the last big contest of the season. Everybody's kind of winding down. It's a good time. There's a Frankenplane contest where you get like a bill of materials and you have to build, I think it's cardboard or something this year. I didn't participate. I didn't have time, but they're having that contest tomorrow. And a 1 meter, most of our DLGs are 1.5 meters, but there's these 1 meter planes that people are getting excited about because they're pretty inexpensive and fly pretty well. And so they're having a kind of an informal contest about that tomorrow as well before the real showdown starts on Saturday morning.
I hate to tell you this, but I'm looking out my window and it looks a little rainy out there.
Yeah, dude,
it's raining here.
In Griffin, Georgia, forecast is looking pretty good, man.
Or tomorrow too?
Tomorrow's mostly sunny, 80, 5 to 10, Saturday, 73, 5 mile per hour wind. Sunday, 75.
Maybe all this is headed up north.
Yeah, it's all sunny and light winds for the entire trip, so it's going to be really nice.
Living the dream.
We've officially hit the bad season here, and it's starting to get windy, and the lake is starting to really affect our weather so much. It's like gale force winds and low clouds and mist. That's what happens in fall. And then there's no like in between. It just goes straight into blizzard snow and you get 70 inches.
That's probably why you can't review that Opterra, because it's just going to be terrible.
Oh, you son of a gun, yeah.
Well, everyone, we appreciate it when you join us each week. I always look forward to Thursday because we just get to sit around and talk about fun RC stuff. That's
a good way to spend my
day before
days
Friday
at the office. Yeah, and Thursday's the new Friday.
Well, it's bad when I'm excited to get on my new mower and go mow something. So I'm excited about that. But anyway, thank all of y'all for joining us. If you're not joining us live every Thursday, 2 o'clock Central Standard Time, you can always watch it on our YouTube channel. And you can find that in the sidebar of the homepage of RCGroups.com, the world's largest, most active RC website. It's cranking up now because the weather is pushing everybody back on the internet. There was like 20,000 people online yesterday at one time. Yeah, so that's pretty good. That's like a small city just on RC Groups alone.
It's a good way to put it. A city of RC people. Man, what a motley crew.
Matt and I are excited because Jason's going to take us to eat at Chewy's in the future, his favorite restaurant.
I hate you both.
No, you're going with me, Matt.
I would love to.
Well,
Absolutely love to.
You better get down here before it gets too cold, though.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm Jim T. Graham, your host, admin, and golf cart driver for RCGroups.com. We will see y'all next week. And if you have any questions, if you want to say, hey, this was awesome, hit the like button, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. RCGroups.com. Thank you, guys. And I'm stopping the broadcast.
In 3, 2.
LAFPV.
Shut her down.
Lexus FPV. FPV Lexus.
Shut her down. Shut her down.
Gyrex. Brought to you by Gyrex.com.
It says live on my screen.
What were you going to say when we started the broadcast? Now do you remember that?
Well, I was going to say I'm never posting again. I'm relinquishing.
Should I hit the stop? Yeah, last time Jason did it, he just took matters into his own hand.
Okay, here goes.
No, in 3, 2.
I'll let you do it.
Punkin' chunkin'.
I hate the word pumpkin.
I love it if
Punkin'.
it's a nickname for somebody.
Pumpkin.
You guys can take your pumpkins and you can shove them up